Hey y'all, Joe here, and here we are to talk about my early opinions on the best burst mode in Pokken Tournament. Now, of course, it's just what I'm thinking, so please tell me what you're all thinking in the comments section below. Now, for some set regulations for myself, I'll be considering the best buffs from the burst modes, the time it needs charging, and of course, the best burst attack itself in order to be added up to the best burst modes. With all this said, though, let's get this started. To start off, we have Machamp. So to me, this has always seemed like a very good burst, but not really the best burst in the game. Now, it charges at a decent speed, it gives you upgraded infinite A moves, which is nice, and of course it gives you a nice damage boost, as all bursts do. Overall, it's very solid, but it really doesn't change your gameplay way too much. Still, the bonuses are nice, and of course the burst attack with this guy is amazing. It goes very far, it has a huge hitbox, and it's really great as a nice anti-air to use. The damage from the burst itself is solid, at about 252 damage, and overall, it's a nice burst attack to have. Next, I wanted to give Blaziken a spot, and I feel like his burst is a very solid one, and one of the best mainly for the speed buff that it gives. Now, this buff allows you to space much easier, camp a tiny bit more, or go ham much faster. As well, you get a few more combos in this mode, and your already ridiculously damaging combos get even more damage down on the enemy. Finally, his burst is kinda good. It has a smaller hitbox, but you go pretty far, and it's probably the easiest burst attack to combo into in the game. As well, it does beat a few other melee range bursts, which is nice, and in the end, it's quite good. For Shadow Mewtwo, I feel like his burst is just kinda dumb. Now, the main reason for this is that it charges insanely fast, and of course, it's still very good. Normally, these fast charging burst ones kinda suck, but he's the outlier. Now, with this burst, you of course get more damage, get a few more combos, and you get some really nice heal just from, the burst heal, which is really good on Shadow Mewtwo as you damage yourself a lot, and you get a lot of recoverable HP. It's just a really solid mega that comes out very often, and of course, you can't forget that burst attack. This thing is insane as it's one of the highest damages, goes very far, and of course can be comboed into, and it counters almost all melee bursts, and you can't really jump over it, and pretty much you gotta shield. Now, this burst would be pretty much good on anyone, but with someone that takes so little time to charge his burst, and someone that has so much recoverable HP, well, it's just amazing. Now, as for Lucario, you probably wouldn't really be thinking of him. I mean, his burst attack is strong and all, but it's really hard to hit, and it definitely isn't one of the better ones, so why did I put him here? Well, mainly for all the buffs that he gets aside from his burst attack. Now, these things are super good. Now, the main benefit is that many of his moves get changed properties and acquire more damage, and of course, a lot more combos. It's not rare to get 200 damage off a simple hit in his mega, and of course, hey, that's pretty good. As well, he gets some bigger hitboxes on most of these moves, and he gets a lot more shield damage / stuns the enemy quite a bit longer once, of course, he hits them, and overall, it's kind of just a big overhaul, and of course, we can't forget that grab. That thing is just stupid. Of course, this charge has a close to medium charge time, which helps it to be used a lot more often, and really, I'll be the source to say that it is one of my favorites. Finally, we have the easy choice Gengar, and if you didn't get this one, then what are you doing? Gengar is my go-to Mega Pokemon, and it may just be the best Mega in the game and the best burst in the game. Now, to start off for this Mega, you get a complete moveset overhaul for the most part, and he receives a ton of almost uncatchable moves that break shield, do a ton of damage, and just lead to way many mix-up grabs. As well, he gets a giant damage increase, and the range for many of these moves rival that of anyone. He gets a ton of ways to get in, a ton of ways to stay out, and he just kinda graded everything here. It's very hard to play versus Mega Gengar also, as if you attack him, he can just jump back and laser you, or just go for a burst. Now, talking about his burst, I'll say that it is the best burst attack in the game, hands down. Of course, it has the highest damage, it breaks through pretty much every move, it can't be shielded, and it overcomes most other bursts. The hitbox is kinda huge for a grab type attack like this, and yeah, this guy kinda has it all here. Thank you all for watching, I hope you really enjoyed. Of course, these are all just my own personal opinions and they're very early opinions, but I want to get this video out to see what you guys are all thinking. Anyways, thanks for your time, and I'll be seeing you all next time.